back.
We're back.
We made it. Doing it.
New episode,
Blue collar.
new week.
Ain't that the truth?
Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, hopefully this podcast doesn't look so fat.
you noticed that too? I was telling Alex, I stopped leaning back.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I'm like,
forward.
I gotta lean, put my shoulders out, huh? Jesus.
But like,
Christ.
hey.
Anyways, cheers. It's
Yeah.
Friday.
Hell yeah. We made
My
it.
first beer since.
Cheers, guys.
last time
The
we
three
were
amigos again. There's hopes of some guys making it.
Yeah, later.
Odds are they aren't. But
Yeah. You know, let's roll the dice with those dudes, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But
all right.
I like that. So, how busy were you guys in weeks, huh?
Busy.
I feel like you're always busy. I
Busy.
asked that question. I already know your answer.
As long as people are shitting.
Yeah, exactly. Is the sky still blue? You know?
So last episode, I think we had to cut it down. We went like 3 hours. We went on, and I think we could have kept on going, but
I feel like we really shot a lot of shit in that episode. You know what I mean?
there was a
Jesus.
lot of shit shooting. Yeah, but we didn't get to you.
Oh,
yeah.
So why don't we hand the reins over to you, and you can start.
Yeah. Let me jot this down. You know,
like-
I suffer from like short-term memory, long-term loss. You know. So you know, last week something happened, man. But I fucking whole new week, baby.
all right. What happened this week?
No, let's see. Let's start with the, you know, ultimately. Yeah, I'm actually now I'm pulling for straws. I was like, I think something happened last week with
What
work.
did you do last weekend?
Yeah, you know, last weekend went out to LA. Go Dodgers. Saw a Dodger game Sunday. Strangely, you know, these guys are the only team that's went to Japan this year, played 2 games, came back, and then started playing preseason games again.
Were those official games?
Yeah, those 2 were official, and then they
Cool.
played then they played 4 or 3 preseason games, and then Thursday the season opener was in LA.
Oh.
So it was really weird schedule. So we went to the Sunday game last Sunday, checked out the stadium. Nothing new in an esque. Like I think they changed some like signage in there. I tried a couple of the restaurants, or not restaurants, but-
Prices of the beer.
bro. $24. Come on.
For
Most
16?
most expensive beer in any stadium, Dodger Stadium.
Why?
Bro, what do you mean? Why? They got to pay. You know,
Exactly.
These guys are. I mean, I hate it. Thinking about like some cheaper stadiums. I think I was hearing like the Seattle Mariners or Chicago White Sox. You know,
Something like
those smaller teams.
They're like $17.
Dude, no, they're supposed to be cheaper. Oh no, was it or is it Boston?
$17.
Well, there's one team's beers that are like $10.
Oh no, I'm talking about tickets.
Ticket
Tickets,
prices.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ticket
beer
prices.
prices are like
Somebody
Half
dropped
of
them. Somebody dropped beer prices. Might be the NFL though.
definitely wasn't the Dodgers.
Might be the NFL.
So we went to the game, nice time, and then, you know, started this week. You know, I would tell you this week was pretty smooth because I had Monday off.
Monday?
Yeah, I took Monday off.
Yeah,
We were
you
driving
got-
back from LA, so I took Monday off. But it's wild because, you know, yesterday, well, obviously yesterday was Thursday. I'm over here at work, knocking stuff out, you know, getting to it. And I'll get home and I'm like, dang, I was like, 2 more days. And then my girl was like, today's Thursday. And I was like, oh, well, that's how much energy I got. I got enough energy to work another day, huh? Fucking ready, I guess.
No wonder you went to go help your cousin.
That, I was gonna say, yeah. So the hardest day of this week was today. You know, work my standard job. Yeah, I was hanging out for a few hours today. You know, we were getting this podcast situated, and I was like, you know, let's see what my cousin. He owns a company. He's licensed, bonded painter. I'm shout out his company, RK Painting. If you guys need any paint work or painting done, he'll give you the nice bid. He'll be nice with you. What do they call it? Be sweet to me. You know, he got you guys. It's solid work, professional.
Is he all over the Bay Area?
Mostly. He does. So a lot of the houses he's completed are like $1 million homes, like really up there, high class people paying in cash, big time. But don't let that fool you. He'll do your home. If it's, whatever your price is, whatever you need, he'll come and give you a bid for it.
I'm sure he doesn't get paid cash.
No. I mean, he's like I said, he's professional, so he has to document all the money coming in. Pays taxes, solid. He's a solid guy. He already got like spooked about like the IRS coming for something, and he was like, "Dude, I have all my paperwork, please." And they're like, "All right, you're legit, you're legit." But he has his job out in San Mateo, so I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm actually going to San Mateo right now. It's just me. I'm gonna, try to knock out this I can't remember what business was there, but just a business with a couple tenants. They left, so the property management's trying to turn it over to get ready for the next tenants. So I was like, all right, I'll go over there and help you. Jammed out there. This place was actually pretty big. I'm thinking probably around, I don't know. I'm not a square footage guy. Like it's really trouble, but I'm a more of a foot guy. So the walls are probably around 100 feet by 40 feet by 100 feet. So whatever that 100 by 40 square footage is, that's that location. So it's pretty big. He was doing pretty much most of the walls in there. So he had it all primed out mostly. And then I went back, sanded it all, knocked down a whole bunch of stuff down for him so that he can get ready to roll it out. But busy. I'll tell you, in my job, requires very little sweat. You know what I mean? Just the sweat scale of my job is almost nothing.
Weather.
See what I mean? I went over to his goddamn and I was just fucking raining. I was fucking soaked. But other than that, week went by quick. It was great. I always say, what's my little slogan? I can't complain, even though I still do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the same.
It's a great week. Great week. What about you guys?
We're still on you.
Oh, okay.
You gotta give us a story, man. Alex and I went on and on last podcast. There was 10 minutes of Vince and like an hour and 29 of Sergio, and then the rest was Alex. Let's start off with a story. Any good stories this week?
So, okay, a story for this week. Honestly, I'm telling you, it was a really weird week. Every job I went to, they were on top of it. I'll tell you about, I did go to 2 places this week. One place, major not manufacturer, shipping and distribution. Everybody knows them because you go online, you use that website, and you use their products to buy stuff. I went to one of their offices. These motherfuckers were so uncoordinated, bro. I'm nice, okay? I'm a pretty nice guy. I think of myself as genuine and nice. I tried to be, as upfront as I can about what I'm doing there, who I am, and why I'm there, right? Because a lot of times I go into places, they have no idea. Hey, who called AT&T? Oh, hey, who called this guy to go look at or do whatever, right? So I'm like constantly explaining. So I already know that. That's the whole
It seems
spiel.
like every job you go to, nobody knows what the hell's going on.
Bro,
Do you wear a uniform or
this is it.
you wear that? Your AT&T. This is your AT&T.
I was a lot cleaner earlier. I done told you. I
don't put a
wouldn't just
vest on or
fucking.
nothing?
Yeah, I have a vest. Yeah,
Oh,
I got my
AT&T
vest.
vest. Oh.
Yeah, my vest, my badge. Obviously all my little gimmicks.
Credentials.
Yeah, So obviously I show up there. They're like, "Oh, he's official." Because I'm not really wearing workwear. I'm wearing. Boss wear, I guess. Like, like I got a collared shirt. Oh, he's doing something. Yeah, talk to that guy. He has a collared shirt. Everybody knows that. Go on a job site. Don't ask any of the fucking non-collared shirt guys anything. Ask the collared shirt guy something. He knows. So I get in there and the reception. I was like, "Hey, I'm so and so." Yada yada. I was like, I contacted my point of contact. He's not answering. Can you contact him? And usually the reception people are pretty they know their job. Like, oh yeah, Tell me the name. I'll look him up in our system. I'll ping him, let him know you're here so he can come out, or he can message me and we can talk to the security, yada, yada, whatever they need to do. This motherfucker was like, there's lots of people that work here. I need you to write his name down. And I was like, write his name down? I'm like, dude, put his name into your computer right now, and look him up. He's like, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
This has been his first day.
No, hell no. And I was like, you don't know how to do that? This is when my mind was kind of blown, and I was like, okay. Okay, sure, you don't know how to do that. Fine.
So if you wrote the name, how the fuck was he going to get a hold of it?
Exactly.
Was he going to get a pigeon to fucking
Bro,
Pass it on to the next
somebody?
guy.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, okay. I was like, let me take a step back here because this is not working. So I called the what do you call the person of contact again. He answers. So I'm like, hey, dude, this guy in front of me has no idea what he's doing here. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't know. Like, nobody here knows. So you need to forward over some kind of documentation so we can get this going, or I'm gonna leave. And he's like, okay. He's like, let me call the security. We already sent all your information to them, so they should have all your information. And I was like, I know, because I filled out that form to let them know that I'm coming. So I know what's fucking there. You know what I mean? Then he's like, okay. He's like, yeah. We'll get it. Please don't leave. We'll get it sorted out. I'm like, dude, you guys, I give everybody 30 minutes. You guys can't get me sorted in 30 minutes. I'm fucking gone. I got shit to do. I got other people. So this is the reason why I only give them 30, because we only get technically, we only get so much time per job because other jobs are in that same kind of time frame area. So we do work between the hours of 9 to 2 p.m. So that accounts for drive time between any job we got to do and doing that job. So some jobs, as you can imagine, like this one, took fucking almost 2 hours because these guys couldn't get their heads out of their ass to figure out where I needed to go. We'll get to that part. So this dude finally calls up. I had the security line. Call the security. I'm like, hey, you guys over here are fucking with me, and I'm not happy. And the girl's like, we show your name's says my name, and I'm like, that's me. And they're like, it shows you're good. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, you tell me. I'm fucking freaking out over here. Like, I've been standing in your lobby for 30 minutes. Like, I'm fucking done. And she's like, oh, I'll call the head security. I'll call the head security. Okay. I see because there's like a block gate, right? Where everybody badges in. And then behind that gate, there's the security guy in a podium. And I'm like, hey, did you find my ticket number? And he's like, me? I'm like, yeah, you. He's like, oh, yeah, I have your ticket number. And I was like, what are you doing? Why didn't you tell me? What's going on? Give me some information, buddy. And he's like, oh, I'll call the security right now. And I was like, I've been sitting here. Wow. At that point, I was like, oh, you guys got me. I'm fuming. You know what I mean? I'm getting me heated. So he, calls the guy. I wait 10 more minutes, nothing. I call back the security line again. I'm like, look, you guys, I'm done. I had it with you. Like, I'm done. Like, you're going to have to answer to, the main company who employs the security. I'm like, you're going to have to answer those guys why I left and why you're holding up their site, because it ain't me. And they're like, oh, we'll get somebody right there. I promise. And then right when I'm ripping into this lady, the security guy walks up. He's like, hey, are you with whatever? And I'm like, no, I'm with AT&T. And he's like, that's perfect. Let's get on going. I'm like, all right,
wrong
cool.
guy, but fuck it, I'll take you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was like, dude, you got fucking keys? Take me where I need to go.
Wow.
So we get in. He's like, all right. He's all pumped. He's a young guy. He's like, all right, where we got to go? And I look at him. I look at this motherfucker, and I was like, what do you mean?
Oh my goodness.
He's all, yeah, they just told me to get over here, bro, so I have no idea what we're doing. And I was like, bro, just take me to the main electrical room, the main MPO. He's like, what's an MPO? And I was like, bro, an MPO, I was like, it's okay. An MPO means the main point of entry. For everybody else out there, MPOE, that's, how you say it is MPO. A lot of people say weird shit, but MPO is MPOE, stands for main point of entry. So we're looking for telecommunication main point of entry. So I explained that to this guy. He's like, I don't know where that is. I was like, oh, take me to your server room, dude. You know, I need to see something because I've been sitting around too long and I'm ready to get the fuck on. He's like, all right. So he takes me to another room and he's like, oh, I don't have keys for this. We have to call. And I'm like, okay, come make a call, dude. We're here. Him calling the security lady that I talked to twice, and then them having to confirm my identity and then have to go and find another security guard to confirm his identity to get into the goddamn room. And get this, that was just to get a code. He gets the code. He's like, after it took about maybe 5-6 minutes to get this whole thing worked out. He's like, I got the code. Let's go to the door. Perfect. We go to the door. He puts the code in.
Expired.
No, it's all dee-dee-dee. And I'm like, hey, dude. He's like, oh, weird. I'm like, it's not weird, bro. That fucking whatever code they gave you is not working because they would go ding like when it fucking works, bro, and then we can open the goddamn door. That motherfucker is saying a negative, you know? So I was like, he's like, bro, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's not your fault, bro. It's not. You don't apologize to me. I may look unhappy right now. That's just because I am, but I'm not mad with you. I'm just unhappy right now. So I was like, take me to another place. Take me to the electrical room. He's like, yeah, we don't need keys for the electrical room. So we go back downstairs, go to the electrical room. We open the door. I take one step in there and I'm like, this is not it. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I fucking know. He's like, what about over? I'm like, it's not it, bro. This is not it. He's like, where do you think it is? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know your fucking building. I've never been here before.
Back where you got me.
Exactly. I was like, dude, I was like, we're just going to have to redo this, I guess. Like, that's call for the extension because I'm pretty much done.
At that point, how long were you there?
Bro, hour and a half.
Oh.
I'm telling you, it was, I was, I gave him so much time today. It pushed my other jobs back so fucking far. Anyways, so we go around, go back to the inside, and there's another security guard just sitting there in the podium. And the dude just happens to ask the guy, hey, do you know where AT&T goes or where the AT&T stuff is? The dude was just sitting there. He looks over, he looks up from his laptop, and he's like, I don't know, but I see a lot of people going into that room right there, right next to the fucking electrical room. And I'm like, let me see the door. So we walk back, look at the door, and sure as fucking shit, there's a goddamn AT&T fiber clear sticker. Oh, get this. The door's fucking white. They put a white clear sticker on the door. You can't even fucking see it, bro. You can't see it. Man. So I'm like, I about broke my finger tapping the fucking sticker. I was all, this is it.
But who puts that sticker?
AT&T.
The door just happened to be white.
Yeah. Normally they put a fucking blue sticker. You know what I mean?
Should have grabbed the fucking Sharpie.
I was just, I told you, I was about to break my fucking finger through the door. And then I was like, good. I go to open it, locked. I'm like, who has keys for this? They're like, we do not have keys for that. I'm like, who has keys? And they're like, maybe the main security, like the top of the security people. Man. And I'm like, call them. It shouldn't be too bad. And then they're like, yeah, they're not very responsive. I about fucking jumped through the fucking roof, bro. I was already at my wit's end. So I was like, I don't give a shit right now. Call him. I was like, and matter of fact, at this time, because I got there at like 9:50, it was 11 o'clock at this time. So I was like, dude, call him. I'm going to wait 20 minutes. I'm going to give you guys to 11:30. You guys can't figure this shit out. I'm gone because we've already been here for fucking, hour and a half. I'm going on 2 hours here. And they're like, all right. Call the guy. He didn't answer. We waited about 10 minutes. Then the dude I was walking with, the cool, he's as cool as he can be, security guard. He starts talking about I'm like, hey, dude, what do you, because he's like, oh, this is just my side gig. I'm like, how do they pay you? You guys get paid by hour? He's like, actually, they only call me out and I only get paid per call. So this call is from 9 to 2. So that's what I'll get paid. And I'm like, what if I leave early? He's like, well, they cut my hours. Ooh. And I was all, fuck, no, that's what? And he's like, yeah. So then, as we were waiting, we walk outside and I tell him, hey, I'm just going to disappear when I'm done. And he's like, disappear? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go get some tools. And he's like, oh, get some tools. Yeah. I was like, okay. Now you know where I'm going with this, bud. He's like, yeah, okay. So we go back inside. The dude with the key shows up, fucking opens the door. Boom, get inside. Exactly the area I need. It's the fucking end pole. Shit took me 10 fucking minutes. 10 fucking minutes. Because everything's there. I didn't have to do anything, right? Oh, I didn't have to propose anything. So it's a lot longer if I have to start proposing shit to come in and pulling, relocating stuff. So everything was open canvas. So I was like, so easy. Then the guy's talking about, I wish I remember his name. He was a cool dude, but he does competition, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's actually won in San Jose. He won a tournament out here in San Jose just last year. He's like, I fight at 160, I think, his weight class. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and I was able to beat a bunch of people out here, and I won last year. He's like, I'm a trainer I had to plug his training place too, because he's the main coach at the location he's at. I'm not the main. I don't know if he's the main. He seemed like he was pretty up there, but he's a coach at the whatever. That's what I'm saying. I really wish he had gave me his name. I'd have plugged him up right now. But cool dude. If you ever he looks Filipino to me. So if you ever see a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, Filipino, pretty tall, ripping it up, he's a solid guy. But anyways, after that, knocked that shit out finally, fucking finished that. And then I got off and went to go
lunch.
Lunch? Fuck no. I went to go do 2 more jobs that were
that took you 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, no, the other 2 jobs, another thing. Fuck, dude. I guess I think about it. The other 2 jobs were fucking a nightmare too. So that one took fucking forever for no reason, right? And then the other 2 jobs I went to, one was fully under construction. These guys told our project coordinators, hey, we're under construction. We're not ready. They're like, don't worry. We'll be the judge of that. I go out there and I'm like, we're not ready. And the guy's like, I know, I told you guys. And I'm like, I know you told them. Now I'm going to tell them. I was like, what a waste of fucking time. Oh, and I was like, but I'll tell you what, because a lot of these construction guys, the needs for, what AT&T needs to have in any kind of MPO location is always the same. You need to have power, ground, dedicated power, dedicated ground, fire rated backboard, simple shit. Yeah. So most construction teams or, companies know what an MPO, what they need to put in there. Yeah. So we don't have to tell them too often. But you'll be fucking surprised how many times I go to a construction site and they're like, hey, so what do we need? What do we need to do here? I'm like, man, please, just whatever, man.
So do you get paid by the hour, by the job, commission?
Yeah, I'm hourly.
Hourly. Okay, so fuck it.
Yeah.
Why are you mad?
Well, that's the whole thing. You'd think some of these jobs would be set up to know what needs to happen at them before I go out there and then have to fucking work the whole thing, from start to finish, just about to let this customer know, hey, this is actually what's happening. This is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it. Because a lot of the information just doesn't. I'm sure any field and every, trade knows what I'm talking about. Some information doesn't fucking flow down the right channels mostly. Mm-hmm. You got one guy over here talking, this is what we need to do, and the other guy like, no, I heard this. So you're like, okay, well, let's do them both. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Whatever. So, that was one of the other jobs. And then I went to the last job I had, because Fridays is kind of our light day because we have a paperwork day. So I have to clean up all the jobs that either I had questions with or, customers called or whatever. I'm constantly answering anything that needs to happen through the week on Friday. So went to my last site. Very similar thing happened. It was it 1285 Palo Alto Shopping Center? So it's like the outdoor mall in Palo Alto. Nice place, actually. I think it.
Stanford?
No. Is it Stanford Shopping Center? Maybe it is Stanford Shopping Center.
Stanford's
Yeah, Stanford. Yeah, it is. Stanford Shopping Center. Yes, it is. Stanford Shopping Center. Pretty nice area.
Yeah.
Call me.
Were you right there?
He was right across the street.
Right across the street. Could have had lunch.
What do you mean? Your job's right there?
It's not that far from there.
Oh, God.
Stanford Hospital?
It's right across the street.
For whatever reason, I thought you were working. I thought you weren't at Stanford. I thought you said something else.
We talked about it last time.
Oh, fuck me.
He was off by like a 16th of an inch.
Oh, yeah. He had to go back and work that fucking shaft. But fuck yeah. So, anyways, pretty nice area. I actually the business that wanted it was that. I'm gonna butcher the name. It was like Wilkshire Brook. It's like some kind of like fancy clothing joint. But anyways, they had no idea what the fuck was going on either. Yeah. Walked around there for an hour just to be like, we got to reschedule this because I'm all out of fucks today, so I'm not waiting. I went around, looked for what I could look, and I'm done. Sorry, guys. And then they're like, all right, well, thanks for coming. Sorry. Don't apologize to me, man. I feel sorry for you. But
hey, we could do a spin-off off this, and then Vince could do all his stories. This is just one day.
Yeah.
When you have to come back, is that an extra charge for the customer?
Actually, the way our company, because we were consulting, so I'm our company, the company I work for, is a consulting company for AT&T. So we're like primary contractors. We get the work directly from them, and then we disperse the work to third parties if we need to disperse it. But mainly, what we do is if we have to go back, we have to give a detailed reason on why the job couldn't be completed. We'll get I think they call it a show up price. So we show up, get the information, we'll get paid for that, and then we have to resubmit. So they'll create another PO, or AT&T will technically we create the PO, we submit both. They have to approve it. That's how we get paid. So they create another PO, and then with the new job, or with the same job with just the new job number, and then we go out there the second time, and then we should complete it.
I'd like to see Vince's descriptions on why he had to go back.
Oh, I'm detailed, bro.
Can you read them to us? Bring one.
I'm pretty detailed.
Bring one and then read it to us. I want to see.
I mean, they're not. Some of them. Sometimes I get aggravated in them, But most times compared to my counterpart, it's like night and day.
Alex, we should get somebody to come in and read.
Oh, read it.
Read. Yeah, and kind of to see, was Vince irritated today?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, how'd you feel about this no access today? Huh? Yeah, so, then after that, I decided, I didn't have enough fucking work today, so I called up my cousin. I'm like, hey, I'll go and help you I'll help you over at that job. I'll go and work fucking 2 hours and knock fucking sanding these walls down for you. Don't worry about it. I think I needed that, though. Like I said,
Reliever, yeah.
It is, normally I just go home and cuss at my TV, but today, fucking worked it out on the wall, I guess. That sounds nasty, but there's a joke in there somewhere. I don't know. Exactly. But yeah, that was my Friday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you ever go back to that one job where that guy that knocked out that homeless guy?
Bro, I did. Yeah, that motherfucker's a giant, dude. I'm not lying. I think I mentioned that in the last podcast.
Yes.
He's like 6'4", like a fucking huge fucking dude. And then we had to go butt heads again. I was like, bro. Actually, I went there. I didn't see him at the site, so I just called him. Actually, I called the main property manager. I'm like, hey, this shit's still going on. You fucking figure it out. Because AT&T, me, who's the representative for these guys, are not getting involved in your guys' fucking fights. Like, we're not here to be like, yeah, you got to do, I'm not slapping fingers here. You know what I mean? That's your shit. I just want to go in. I was like, I'll tell you what we want to see. We want you to fucking build the MPO room, or build a room, enclose that area where the MPO is, and make it a new room. That would solve everybody's problems. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, maybe we'll do that. And I'm like, well, maybe you won't. I don't know.
Did he rip everything out?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was, or he
oh, bro, when I was there, so technically, because I told, the last thing I talked about, I was telling the property management, like, hey, I don't know, legal wise, I don't think he can pull that shit out, because people are gonna drop, and guess what? Who's gonna be at fault? Mm-hmm. They're gonna be at fault. And she's like, let me write all this down. I'm gonna have to tell him. And I'm like, bro, how are you in property management? And you have no idea, like, the rules or the laws you have to fucking respect, or, you have to keep. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. So when I went over there, I left, fucking looked at it, called them, talked to them, like, we're done. We're not coming back out here until you guys make a decision. Yada yada. Here's the people you need to talk to. Call them, talk to them. I'm going. The dude calls me like 2 hours later. He's like, oh no, he messaged my project coordinator like, hey, nobody's out here. I've been waiting. And they send me the notification like, hey Vince, this guy's over here saying, I'm like, fuck this dude. Tell him to fucking call me. And they're like, okay.
You said it that way.
Yeah. and then he calls me. He's like, hey, this is so and so, and I'm like, hey, yeah, this is so and so too. And he's like, hey, nobody came out here. I'm like, I came out there. I'm like, I was like, you remember me? I was out here 2 weeks ago. He's like, oh yeah, I remember you. And I'm like, and he's like, well, we're trying to get the shit out of here, dude. I'm like, what do you want me to do about it? You have to wait for the project management to make a decision. Then we can do something. He's like, no, my customer. I'm like, fuck your customer, bro.
Right.
Their customers. It's another major brand that deals with eyewear. Anyways, I was like, fuck that brand because they can't have it every single way they want it. Like somebody has to bend here and it's going to be fucking them. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, buddy. And he's just did not want to hear it. And I'm like, whatever, bro. Like, I can't do anything for you.
Right.
Call somebody else. Okay. That was it.
It was just square footage, right?
Yeah.
Where property management just left it right in that space.
Yep. Open.
And these guys said, we thought we had 1,000 square feet.
Exactly.
Now
Now
we only have
950.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean? It's not very big. The spacing that the telecommunications and the FACP, which is fire access control panel, take is within like 6 feet by probably 10 feet. You know what I mean? It's on the wall. It's small.
Yeah.
Protruding no more than fucking 8 inches. So it's
Yeah, but if
least-
you close it off, how much square footage are you going to lose?
You'll-
50 square feet, right? At least
6 by 10.
you need enough to somebody to walk in, right?
Oh, if you're
close
gonna
it off.
enclose it, yes. Yeah. You'll probably need at least 4 feet in at minimum. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess that's true. I technically I don't know the laws about if you were to enclose a space. Is there a maximum footage of that space to be called a closet or an outdoor?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a ladder going up, so
Well, funny you say that,
Roof
right?
access.
yeah.
Where people don't know what the fuck they're doing. You show up and you're like,
Mm.
similar experience here.
Mhm.
Call AT&T. I want fiber.
Mhm.
You know, it was between them and the other company, right? And I said,
Comcast or
Yeah.
Zayo or
So I said,
fucking,
let's just do the fucking AT&T thing. We already have cell.
oh yeah.
Let's just keep it all together, right?
Mhm.
So the sales guys, oh yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. You know,
Yeah, of
they
course.
tell you everything.
Oh, those guys will fucking suck your dick if you can get it. You know what I mean? There's been so many times I go to a fucking place and they're like, hey, it's over here. I'm like, it ain't fucking over there, bud. It's over here and it's going to be here. But the guy, I don't give a fuck what that guy promised you.
So AT&T tells me, okay, we'll show up on this day. They didn't tell me what time,
Of course they didn't.
right?
Mhm.
They show up and I go, okay.
Get to work, guys.
He's like, I'm assuming, I don't remember, but he's like, hey, where's what did you call it? The
A DMARC or MPO.
NPO.
Yeah.
Fucking no. Your fucking sales guy says, oh yeah, we service that area all the time.
Mhm.
We know exactly what we have to do.
Yep.
That to me, don't fucking ask me. I just moved into this place. Right? So the guy's like,
Oh, it's here in this location.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's in here?
Yeah.
No.
I thought
It's
you
at,
said
it's
so
at the corner.
No. The MPO is at the corner, but this it was for this space.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the guy, he goes, well, he fucking walked the whole campus.
What? Did he have an AT&T truck or
Yeah.
did? Oh,
He was
okay.
AT&T. And
What
he,
is this guy doing? He just read the fucking blueprints. So AT&T has records. They call them Airmis, and on the Airmis it shows all the records for hardline copper and fiber in this vicinity. So it's all addressed up. It's
Right.
a bunch of different count numbers.
So
So
it
if you,
should tell you where the MPO is.
well, no, we know it's here, just somewhere. Yeah,
Doesn't tell you
Anyway.
exactly.
exactly.
So he comes inside and he goes, you know what? It goes through every building.
Oh,
every
yeah. Space.
space.
Yeah.
right down the middle, just like plumbing does.
Mhm.
Everything comes right down the middle. I said, okay, well then, if that's the case, it's probably either over there
Mhm.
or over there.
So
Right?
whatever end it might be.
So he ends up going. He goes, oh yeah, it's all here in the corner, right?
Yeah.
I need access to it. Nobody fucking told me anything.
Nope.
I said, so what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Right? So I called property management and
Yep.
I said, hey, I have AT&T here. They're going to do the internet,
Mhm.
the fiber. They need access to the MPO.
Yep.
Well, why don't you guys tell me? I said, because nobody fucking told me. So what do you want me to do?
That is a day in the life right there.
Right.
That's it. Woo, that's it right there.
So he goes, this guy's probably just sitting at his desk,
Yeah, 100%.
not doing shit.
Just rubbing his hands together, looking at the pot of gold. He's all, look what I got.
Right?
You
And,
know?
and so I go, can you come out here and fucking open it for him?
Yeah.
You guys need to tell us ahead of time.
Yeah, it's usually 24 hours in advance.
I'll get over there.
Okay.
He shows up like in 5 minutes. He's only like around the corner or something.
Damn, talk about fucking breaking your leg over fucking pennies.
Exactly. So guy shows up and he goes, just call me when they're done so I can come and
Lock it up, yeah.
I said, okay. But yeah, I mean, similar story. But this is like the opposite of what you're telling me, right? It's the guys from inside didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Happens a lot. I mean, honestly, it happens so often that we actually made the project coordinators put in their letter to the customer in big, bold red letters. Ask the property management if it's a tenant space how to get access to the MPO, like huge, and then underneath it says we need access to MPO.
So this,
And then it spells it out. Main point of entry, telecommunications, electrical room, gives us little bullet points so that they know what we're talking about. Still,
This
I feel like
fucking-
nobody reads. Nobody reads.
this fucking sales guy must have missed that memo.
He probably didn't get, yeah. I'm telling you.
Oh, nice.
Could be aggravating.
Nice.
I'm glad he got it done for you, though. Knocked you out.
Oh, he like you said, he was here longer looking for the thing than what he did, what it took him to, because you guys, I'm going to say you guys because you represent them too, but there's a string.
Yeah.
There's a string that runs from one end to the other. You got to just tie it,
Pull string.
pull it.
Yep.
So
Makes it simple for the technicians. Because usually, technically, my job title is field engineering. So we go and, map out everything that needs to happen at the location after the fiber's at the location. If anything needs to happen with, new circuits or new wire pulling, usually it goes to a technician and they'll come out and yank the line wherever you want it.
yeah, so before he knew there was a pull string, he goes, I might need access to that room. I said, well, your shit out of luck.
Better call the property management again.
Nobody's in that.
Nobody's in there. Yeah.
It's vacant. It was vacant at the time. So
Yeah, those are the best jobs.
yeah, so exciting. That was an exciting Friday.
Yeah, I mean today is. I'll tell you.
And it was the slow day.
Yeah, yeah,
Slow week.
yeah. Slow week. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Cool. So how about you, Alex? How was your week?
My week was pretty slow. I mean, not slow. I stayed busy all week. I mean, I didn't have nothing exciting happen. I was after I finished the rails, like I said, was it 2 weeks ago? Got the motor in the hoistway, and then started piping.
I was gonna say, how big's the engine now? How big's the motor on this one?
The motor, it's a NMX 14. It's not that big. It's
Okay,
probably this tall, about that wide.
like what, a ton?
Shoot, you got me there. I think it's like 600 pounds.
Oh, okay.
That's not that.
That's a 2,500
That's man purse weight, huh?
capacity, right?
Put it on your shoulder, bro, and just carry it up there
I
yourself.
wish maybe one day. So yeah,
You
But
good?
it took us less than 30 minutes to get it in the hoistway and around the rail.
Mm-hmm. That engine sits what, at the base of the elevator
This
or at the
motor
top?
gets attached at the top on the side of the rail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So that's the primary engine?
for that car. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I feel like, sometimes, the elevator rooms in most places I go to are on the floor level, and usually the places I've been to, the motor's in that engine room. It's usually behind
Yeah.
the elevator.
So that would be like a basement traction.
Oh, okay.
So that would be, where all the ropes come down and go into that machine.
Right into that.
Right
that
into
one
that
ma-
machine room and come up. Usually, they're at top.
Mhm.
That way it hangs above the car.
Got it.
Yeah.
What's safer? Same shit.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I can feel
Safe.
snug as a bug getting into any fucking any engine hoist, right?
It just all depends.
Yeah.
So-
I have not heard of an elevator dropping, but
No,
if it does, please tell us so we don't go there.
I haven't.
Or actually, that should be the other way, right? When an elevator does fall in a location, go to that location, ride the elevators, because I swear to God, they'll be solid after that.
Yeah.
So when you have a project from start to finish, typically, how long is it?
I mean, it all
Or does
depends.
every project depend?
Well, it all depends, the logistics of it.
Mm.
If it's a construction site, everything's wide open.
Oh, easy.
Get all our material in.
Mhm. You can stack all your material right by your,
Yeah.
your little location.
If it's a two-stop, I would say like a month, 2 months max.
So there are
Work.
expectations.
Yeah, obviously there's
From-
always
So
expectations.
they say, okay, Alex, if you're here for over 6 weeks, that's way too long.
Right.
Do they tell you something or?
Well, yeah, they start. There's phone calls.
They
"Hey,
start
where you
smacking
at?" And
ass,
then,
huh?
when we do our time, we do. We put what we did that day and how long it took.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're documented. We're documented that way. So
You're like, who's burning up time?
yeah, they keep track of all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
You have to, man. You have to.
yeah.
I mean, otherwise, like my company, I explained it, I think, a couple podcasts ago. They went through a big merger and acquisition, and everything started being cut.
Yeah.
They didn't want to know where every dollar's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, you got this investor coming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is saying, okay, I'm supposed to make money.
Yeah, this business
wanna
is
see the
worth
money.
how much?
They want to see the return right away.
Yeah,
They don't want to see it after a couple of years, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're buying a successful business. You know what I mean?
we just went through a big merger, right?
Yeah, you better do something.
Yeah.
We just went through a big merger with the country,
Mm.
and
Oh.
they're cutting everything, right?
Dude, that's a real thing, right there, no doubt.
Oh,
We'll see.
Yeah. I was piping that motor
Mhm.
all the way into the machine room. Pulling wire. That's what I did today.
What size cabling do you use? An inch?
What do you mean?
The
For
you know
the motor? Or
yeah because the what do you call it?
Travelers? The
Ye-
travelers that go under the car?
Well, no, okay, so the Traveler, in a sense, that's what's pulling the cart up and down.
No. The traveler is all the electrical that's going into the car.
Okay, so then the main hoist line that's pulling the car up and down.
Yeah.
You guys use what, an inch braided
No,
line
it's
or?
usually it depends on the car.
Yeah.
How many ropes are on the car?
Got it.
This one has 8 in their 8 millimeter.
Oh, 8 millimeter.
Yeah,
8 millimeter.
small.
One line. You got a box,
got 8 of 'em.
a box set, like
We got 8 of them.
Oh, 8.
so it's 64 millimeters.
Yeah, 8 millimeter lines.
Yeah.
So it's a wait. Is it a continuous line? So you guys go
No,
up and
no.
down, up and down, up
There's
and down,
8.
or it's individuals?
8 individuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking like back when I was in the Ironworkers Union, we did a lot of crane work. So obviously the crane, they call it the old man and the whip line.
hmm
So the old man has the larger hook, and that guy's a single line that you gotta like braid, go up and down, and braid that line in. So I was, I thought that
No, it's 8 individuals.
the elevators did the same kind of thing.
8. But
Yeah.
usually they're 5/8. I've never seen nothing bigger than 5/8.
5/8. I mean, 5/8 is still, it's kind of substantial, but 8 millimeter,
Yeah.
damn,
Wild.
that is wild.
Yeah. But hey, it works.
It doesn't make me feel safe, man. I'm just gonna
8
say,
of them.
Now he's gonna take the stairs.
I know.
He's gonna stay-
Take the stairs. Hey, you look like you need to take the stairs.
Whoa. If I need to take the stairs, you need to take the stairs
I
too.
take
Then you
the
fucking.
stairs. I'm up and down those stairs
Yeah.
every day.
You know what? I do nothing. I need to do more than take the stairs. Fuck. You do 100 jumping jacks and fucking 100 sit-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my week. Nothing exciting.
So you're still there at the
yeah,
hospital?
still at that parking garage.
Okay.
Uh,
And somebody decided not to hit you up.
right.
mean-
I'll be back at right. I'll be back at you Tuesday
Oh, okay. You know what's gonna be? You know what's gonna be shitty? I'm probably gonna get called back to that site.
on Tuesday.
Probably Tuesday.
There you go. You guys
Uh,
get a date together.
no, he's gonna be in Yuba. He'll be in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be there for a day.
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But you guys don't have to deal with that many vagrants out there, huh? Because what do you call it? The campus is pretty locked in.
What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, no, it's wide open.
Well, no, like there's still security walking
yeah,
around.
There's security.
You know what I mean? You guys don't have to, there's not no homeless guy laying next to your job site, is there?
No, but a couple weeks back there was a bum at the bottom of the stairs, sleeping, under the stairs.
In your site?
Yeah. Yeah, the cleaning lady, because she cleans the stairs, she sweeps, she does everything.
She pointed him out or what?
Yeah, she found him.
She's like, hey, bro.
She had to go move. He was hiding behind like a
With the gang box?
stand or
Oh.
you know, like a podium.
Yeah,
There
podium.
was a podium
Yeah.
back there, and he was behind it. She
Yeah.
moved it because she was sweeping, and she's like, "Oh,
She's like, oh, hello. He's like, hello.
yeah."
He's like, Gollum. Ah.
They're pretty quick. Security came down.
Oh,
Well, was he quick? Was he all
Oh no, he was taking his time.
Oh, he was fucking high on life, huh?
he's like, you can't evict me.
Yeah, he's all, I live here now.
I got rights.
Yeah, he's all, I've been here for 30 days. Nobody's noticed for 30 days.
That's probably the only time I've ever seen a bum in that campus.
Yeah, that's wild because Stanford is pretty
Yeah.
fucking locked in. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
You guys probably don't have to deal with any fucking transients, but apparently you do.
One made it all the way down.
Damn, no.
Down.
You know those trash where they put the trash bins, the big ones, right?
Oh yeah.
They kind of do the enclosures with the gate. and
Yes,
stuff
they make
like
their
that.
own, they make their own little house right there, bro.
Wow. We were working late one night,
Mhm.
not too far from here. This is, I think, prior to us moving here. And we had like 2 trash bags from the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell my guys, hey, just go throw it in the fucking bin, right?
Yeah, toss it.
He goes in and tosses it.
Boo!
This fucking dog goes, hey, what the fuck?
The fucking trash can has moved out. He's all went right into his TV.
Oh,
he's all, it's in my
man.
living room, brother. Oh
I looked
no.
at me, I go, what happened? He started smiling.
He's all, I fucked somebody's day up. God damn.
Shit.
Wow.
It's fucked up.
That is fucked up, but
I've seen, so what you're saying, I seen that in Milpitas at one of not like, if Milpitas is kind of weird because there's a side where everybody lives on, and then there's like the other side where there are like the
It's all, like,
stores and
yeah.
kind of like run down. So it's on that side where there's like I did like an Indian Mart. It's like an outside kind of little shopping center.
Off
And
of Capitol.
yeah. So I was over there, and same thing. I was walking around looking for an Ampo, and I'm like, dang. I was like, why is that trash? There's like 2 of the big trash bins outside. And I'm like, oh, why are that trash bins outside? I look over, and like this dude built like a 2-story fucking enclosure, bro,
Wow.
in the gate. And I was all, I guess that's why. And then, I have to call the main manager, the property manager. I'm like, hey, I'm out here docking some stuff out. And he's like, oh, do you see, is the guy still there? And I'm like, if you're talking about the guy that built a 2-story complex out of your garbage bin, yes. Yes, he's there. I think he's living his best life. And he's like,
Wow.
yeah, he doesn't bother with anything. He doesn't break in. So I just leave him there.
They charge him rent.
And I was like, dude, it's honestly, it's probably if you've not had any break-ins, he's probably looking out for the place.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to blow his spot up, so put him on the payroll. Give him some income. Shit.
Nice.
Yeah. But wild as it can be out there, man.
Oh yeah.
So did you go home after your day?
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went home.
Oh.
I had to go home. I had to go pick up my son.
You gotta go eat some dinner.
Yeah, my wife made dinner.
So young M here, was he at school or was he doing some after school practice?
No, he was at school.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he had baseball practice or
No,
something.
the wife needed help picking up the kids.
Gotcha.
Every once in a while, pick them all up.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys making it out. after your work day, going home, and then
Oh, I definitely
out
go
here.
home today. But yes, thank you. Honestly, if we have anybody to thank here right now, it's definitely Alex putting this podcast together.
right.
But also, Sergio, we're using your space. If you didn't have this convenient area for us to meet, we would be in the parking lot. It'd be parking lot chronicles of a blue collar worker. Then people would be looking at us like, when's the drug use is going to come in? You know what I mean? These motherfuckers are in a gas station. They're at a liquor store, in front of a liquor store.
We had a good pilot backyard shoot.
Oh yeah,
That was in the backyard. Yeah,
it was.
that went a while.
It was fucking freezing, but yeah, it was nice.
It was a nice setup too. I wish we had video on that one.
Honest, well,
It's
the
out
video
there.
the
It's
video
out there.
broke.
So let me.
I don't know what happened to the video.
You know what? No, I know there's video. You know why? Because the kids told me you shouldn't be wearing sandals.
They see
saw
this.
it.
They see this fool's fucking caveman feet.
Yeah, no, there is video. I think it was only 30 minutes.
Oh,
That
Only
makes
30
sense.
minutes of video. So yeah.
another camera problem.
But
Yeah. hopefully, Ryan. Hey, I hope this camera's still
It's
good.
going. It's
hey, so speaking of that, right? This is what our 8th, 9th, 10th.
we didn't even
We're getting
number
up
it.
there, right? We're,
We didn't number it this time. Remember, you kept telling us.
Seven. It's seven.
You kept telling us not to number them.
Yeah, I told you we'd phase out of it.
Yeah.
but
You
yeah,
did.
technically 7th. But I think the last one we did 8, 9, and 10.
yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
But anyway, yeah, we went 3 hours last time we were here, and then we cut it. We said, okay, we got to go. But with that being said, I mean, what do you guys think? You didn't listen to the last one, right? But
No, I did. Yeah.
oh, you did?
Yeah. The one we
All
just
3
shot.
hours?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. I definitely. I might have moved it maybe about 15 minutes in each section, but yeah. But I definitely listened to it because I was like, I can see. Obviously we can get into a run on.
Yeah.
No holds bar, like anybody else. Everybody gets good at talking shit, and that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So one.
We're working a different schedule out this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from the first time we got together, I don't think much has changed as far as what we're talking about, right? So I think the intention was to get together, and a couple episodes we said shooting the shit, right? Because that's exactly what we're doing, right? We're not trying to filter things out. We're talking about our everyday lives in the trades,
Mm-hmm.
life experience, right?
Yeah.
And Vince, you were saying some earlier about, hey, you guys talk a lot of shit and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, we do it.
But this is what the podcast is, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about our everyday experience. So why are we going to sugarcoat it, right? Why are we going to make shit up? This is
I hope nobody's making anything up.
right. No, but I'm saying is, you plug people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like we're being us.
Yeah.
We're being us. We're not, tiptoeing around. Hey,
No, you're right. I mean, I feel like we're being as genuine as it can be,
Right.
right? The our views on things, our likes, our dislikes.
doesn't mean we're
not
right. Doesn't mean we're wrong.
Exactly,
We're just shooting the shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Alex, you sent us a message earlier today. One listener, right? The one we have.
Oh yeah. We finally got a comment.
Oh
we got a
yeah.
comment, right? So, is it somebody you know or?
No.
Okay, just a random guy that
Yeah,
subscribed.
kind of.
Okay.
Hell yeah! Shout out that viewer.
Yeah. Hey,
He's Rail Monkeys.
made our day.
Yeah, did make
Yeah,
did
made our
make my
day, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I DM'd him a couple times on some other things,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think he just came on social media that I know of this year.
Okay.
So he's hit the ground running. He's actually making shirts. He's
Oh, okay.
He's also in the elevator trade.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
In the elevator space.
Yeah.
I haven't dug into his media that far in, but he does make some cool shirts and stuff like that.
Wow. Fucking hell. All right.
Yeah, Rail Monkey.
Hell yeah. Rail Monkey. Plug his brand. Rail Monkey.
Yeah, Rail
Yeah.
Monkey. He gave us a heart.
Yeah.
All right.
Liked
Yeah.
it. Liked
Yeah.
it.
This is so awesome that you guys are doing this. There's gotta
be a
Building
billion.
stories in our industries.
No doubt about
Yeah.
that.
I'm reading how
Funny, sad, mad, glad,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean,
sexual.
and
For
that
you
was-
guys, it better not be.
but that was the
Well,
idea,
you know.
right? That was the idea behind
Yeah.
this when we first started talking about it. Actually, it was Alex and I, right? We were
Yeah.
talking one day, having some drinks at a birthday party,
Gathering.
and we said, "Hey, let's do something."
let's
And
try
I
it
think
out.
The following week, right? We did something.
Yeah, I just
So-
happen to have everything from a previous idea
Yeah.
that didn't check
So yeah,
out.
man. I mean, nothing scripted here. Nobody's like
No.
putting rules here. We're just talking.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
We're just talking. So you know,
And we are looking for guests.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna put that out there. We're
Yeah,
talking.
that's solid.
We're talking about, you're interested to coming on the podcast, shooting the shit with us. We'd like to pick your brain, interview you, ask you questions. 'cause
Yeah.
people want to know about this stuff, right? I genuinely think this is good. I mean, I listen to it. Alex puts it out and he says, "Hey guys, listen to it. What do you guys think?" And I listen to it.
Mhm.
I'm sure you do, Alex,
I
because
listen to it.
you're on the road, right? So
Couple
this will replace the audiobooks,
Yeah, yeah.
especially if we're doing those 3-hour
It has.
episodes.
It has.
Fuck.
But yeah, I
These
mean,
last 2 weeks.
I mean, Vince, what do you think? I mean,
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we are in a pretty solid area. Obviously last week we really fucking blasted that one out of the park. But other than that, I feel like we're getting on track.
Yeah.
I can't like the whole thing. I can't complain, even though I still do. But it's great. I feel like we're moving along. I feel like we got some good so I can't even fucking say the word. We got some good positive feedback. I hope we continue that pace. But even negative feedback is positive feedback.
Correct, yeah.
Somebody's
Any-
listening.
Yeah.
any feedback, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking after that last podcast and kind of listening to him and stuff like that. I was thinking how, because I was listening to the story about, the whole Atkins
Oh yeah.
diet
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? And if you think about it, just in life in general, anything, right? At your job, at home, anything you want to do, shit just shouldn't be easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, right? You put the effort in, a perfect example. I was putting the effort in and I was like, fuck. And then I went from the 38 to the 34s, right? When you least expect it,
It happens.
it happens, right? So, I mean, Alex, you post a lot of stuff, a lot of motivation stuff every morning.
Yep.
I mean,
Mindset right.
you got to get that mindset,
Day follows.
right? Getting yourself around people that kind of want to succeed, right?
Exactly.
Right?
I feel like that's half the battle. If you're with people that doesn't have that same view as you, and you're trying to better yourself, you get that pull. I feel like that's the same pull. Maybe a drug addict experiences, trying to clean up, but all their friends are still drug addicts, so they're feeling the pull back into that life. The same thing can go with anything you're trying to do. If let's say you're trying to read 20 books this year, or you're trying to lose weight this year, but everybody around you is
It makes it a lot harder.
pulling you down because they're not doing it, or
Right.
they're giving you counterproductive advice. Those people, you need to make a friend group doing the same thing.
Right.
That way you guys, you got the support and you can succeed together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys discussed about how you guys used to drink every day,
Yeah.
right? And you saw a difference, right?
Yeah.
Saw a difference. It's always, there's some reason why you do it, right? And,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't come within that willpower, you don't have it.
It's hard
just gonna-
for
it's
some
easier.
people it's hard to find it.
It's easier for anything you do, right? So it's easier to say, fuck it, I'm going to go and I'll drink today.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah.
have you ever been to a party where everybody's drinking and you're not?
Once. That's because it was a fucking Wednesday. I don't drink on Wednesdays.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
you're like, fuck, is that how I act when I'm drinking?
Dude, I'm very much guilty of that same thing because
Right?
I love being loud and I love talking shit.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have to be drunk to feel that way, but I'll tell you what,
That third.
we'll get in there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
No, yeah. I mean, so you guys out there, man, if it's something you want to do that you have passion for, go for it, man. Don't let nobody say.
Well, don't be an alcoholic or a drug addict.
no.
You know, if that's what you want to do, fuck it. That's what you want to do.
If that's what you want to do, you better fucking make sure you do it 100%.
You better fill in all three.
Do something, do
365.
something productive, huh?
Something
You know?
productive, yeah. It could be anything. It could be at a small scale or a big scale. I mean, on a daily basis, you should have a daily goal, right?
Yep.
They say if you get up and you make your bed, that's an accomplishment right off the bat.
Yeah, they do
right?
say that 100%.
Right. So I was never in the military, never had the urge to go to military, but you know, I think one of the things that they instill in them or they push, right? Time
Yeah.
and, you know, being presentable.
Yeah. Goal mindset.
Yeah. So, you know, that's what it takes for you to succeed in anything.
Yeah.
In anything, you have to put the time in and you have to be patient.
Yeah.
Patient. So we're patient with this thing. You know, it'll start to grow.
Yeah.
As long as we're, you know,
Consistent.
we're consistent and we're, you know, we're staying true to ourselves.
Yeah.
When we started the company with my partners, the partner that invited us into it and he said, I can't do this without you guys.
Oh.
Right. He
Yeah.
said, I tried it before. I can't do this without you guys. He goes, but I want you guys to remember this I'm always going to remind you.
Mhm.
But from day one, he says, if you're doing this for the money, you're never going to be successful.
Yeah.
He said, if you do the things, you do it for the right reasons, the money will come.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So in my situation, everybody has a different, you know, mindset or goal.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, when I treat the client right, when I'm trying to help the client out, that's kind of what he meant. When you're doing it for the right reasons, right?
Yeah.
The money will come,
Exactly.
right? So that client's happy today, he will continue to,
Call you up when he's unhappy. Hey,
Right.
my shit's fucked. Please come and fix us.
right?
We're there.
Last week or 2 weeks ago, you were talking about how the shaft was off by a little bit. It would have passed,
Yeah,
or it would have
it
flown,
would've been
but you weren't happy with it, right? So guess what? You know, might not be today, but hey, fuck, Alex's cars are always fucking
They're always zooming. Yeah.
right. Same thing with you, right?
Mhm.
You know, I
Yeah.
never get complaints from Vince. You know, when he
Yeah.
goes to his job. So
What's funny is that we just had some minor review,
Uh-oh.
and my boss. This is what's super funny because I to be honest with you, I'm pretty out there for my company, right? I mean, I'm not a company man, but I am 100%. I give an extra 10%. We talked about this. I give an extra 10% when I'm at work because I'm at work. I'm supposed to work there. I'm supposed to be good at what you do because
they're
that's
paying
what they're
you.
paying me for.
They're paying you for it.
So,
Yeah.
you know, that's just something, my nature, give the extra 10%. So I get in this minor review. My supervisor's like, hey, Vince, you know, there's nothing I can say. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, I just want to let you know. This is what cracks me up. He's like, you're a model employee. I started laughing so fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie. I started laughing. I literally laughed how I laughed right now in the fucking phone. And
This is a phone call.
yeah, like Teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, so I'm laughing like that. Bye, you motherfucker! Like, you know, like, okay. And then I repeat back, yeah, model employee. Yeah, like now I'm just fucking with him. And he's like, I'm being serious because he didn't laugh. I was laughing. And he was stone faced, like he's like, I'm serious. I'm like, dude, I know you're serious because I do most of you don't have. He's like, I don't ever have to worry about you because you know you go above and beyond. You know,
You make his job easy.
I do his job. You know, ultimately
That's
there's
what I'm saying.
No,
You're making his job easy.
yeah, no problems have to go to his desk
Right.
because I'm already taking care of those problems. I'm not pushing him off because somebody, you know, technically when I open a project or I start a project, I make sure that project's going to go until it's not mine anymore. You know, it's moving on to
passed on.
manager, OSP, goes to construction, yada yada.
Right.
So my job, I try to make my job as clean as possible and as detailed, over detailed. So when anybody asks me a question about it or I have to look the job up, I either got the photo, I got the answer, I got the number. You know, I'm never like, you know, it's here it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's, you know, I'm 100% always on top of it. So he's like, dude, thank you, you know, yada yada. Yeah, thank you, you know.
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
you laughed about it and everything because you're like, fuck it. But I bet it felt good.
Well, I can tell you what it felt. The same old. You know what I mean? You know, this isn't the first guy patting my back. You know what I mean? Because this is just my work nature.
Right.
So everybody I work, you know, in the most companies I work for, you know, that's the thing. I strive to be. Sounds kind of lame, but I strive to be the best at my position. Right. You know what I mean? That's my work ethic. To learn as much as I can, to grow in the company, and to be the best at what I do.
You're your own competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So
different mindset. You know what I mean? People out there, you know, I know a lot of guys, like we kind of went through this already. A lot of guys go to work. They're just trying to get through the day because, you know, it's fucking, I'm ready to go home. They're ready to go home at fucking lunchtime.
Yeah.
That's fine. You know, I don't mind those guys because those guys usually do stuff the easiest way. So I see those guys doing the easiest stuff. I'm like, I'm going to implement that in what I'm doing because it's shaving time. You know, they're saving some kind of time doing that. That might not all be correctly, you know, fully correct, but if I can implement some of those things, my day gets quicker.
Yeah, I mean, you learn even from I think what you might think is the stupidest idea or the not the brightest person. You learn something from it.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Yep.
So
100. That's what that
can be a little trick, can be something.
Yeah.
You learn.
That's what I'm saying. You know, obviously you're not going to copy their flow because they're not doing it right.
Right.
But something they're doing is keeping them successful.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the something you want to look at. You know, you kind of want to try to implement at least that.
So let me ask you guys, both you guys, a question. I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask. And this for both of you. Have you ever been in a job where you didn't like it? It was a job, right? Where they tell you, do something you love to do, right? And it's not a job, right? I know it sounds kind of corny.
Yeah.
But think about it, right? What is your time like at your current job, both of you? Does it fly?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Does it fly?
Oh yeah.
Right. So now think about previous jobs that you didn't like, where you fucking couldn't wait for break, couldn't wait for lunch, had to go to the bathroom 4 or 5 times a day.
I wasn't the bathroom guy, but yeah, I was looking at the clock a lot.
Right.
I can tell you, it's probably going to sound like I'm lying, but I'm not. So every job I've had, I've never really felt that because
Never?
no. So my work ethic has always been the same.
Right.
So I'm going to evolve as much as I can and learn everything I can and then do my extra 10%. So I'm never, ever bored because there's always something to learn or there's people around me that, you know, see my work style. So they either want to work with me or I want to work with them. You know what I mean? Because they're funny or we talk shit. You know what I mean? So it always makes my day quick. I feel like the closest I can get to what you guys are describing, like, fuck, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, was probably
today.
No, fuck. No, even today, I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
I like this shit. You know, fuck these guys. Fuck you.
You
I gotta
could have
go.
talked out 30 minutes,
Yeah.
but you
100%.
waited the hour and 45 or 50
Try to get the job done,
to
right?
do the 5-minute job.
Exactly. Fucking me. It's not 5 minutes. It was 30.
No, the moment you walked in that door, your job started.
Yeah,
Right. So
it did.
not your fault they weren't ready or prepared.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all a lot of time. But, you know, going back to the question you asked, you know, I have to go back to probably my first job, which was I ended up becoming a manager at a video store. A lot of these young kids don't know what video stores are, but back in the day, I may look a little young. I'm up there. So I was a manager at a video store.
Which video store?
We some things happen at that store, so I can't necessarily say the name of that
It
video
wasn't
store.
a big brand.
No, it was a smaller brand.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
smaller brand. smaller brand video store. I witnessed. We're not going to talk about what I witnessed. I witnessed a lot at that place. Okay, that's why I'm saying, like, there was times at that video store I'm like, fuck, I get the fuck home, right?
Yeah.
But most days I felt that were because I was working alone. So I, opened up the store. I'm working alone for the first 5 hours. I'm like, fuck, when's the next guy going to get here? When's the guy going to get here?
Yeah.
I'm fucking bored and I'm done with everything. So that's where I felt.
Right. So that everybody knows that feeling. I'm sure anybody listening knows that feeling, right?
Yeah.
And then you get to that one position or job that you're like, fuck, I love doing this. I like doing it, right? It flies by. I mean, I put in 14 to 16 hours daily.
Yeah.
And I can tell you when I would do 10-hour days, for 7 days straight at some places, I was fucking tired. My body was aching. I didn't want to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, here, I don't feel tired. I don't.
You get to work and you're like,
It's hard to get up.
invigorated.
Yeah, but once I'm going, it's something
Smooth
I want to
sailing.
be doing, right? So
Well, also you're working for yourself, so you know what I mean.
Correct.
You're
So
like,
now-
you got that extra, like, yeah, this is me. Like,
and that's why I said now you're not tired, right? Because you can't afford to be tired. You don't have that luxury, right?
Yeah.
Who do you blame? Who do you blame if it doesn't happen, right?
I was gonna say
Pull out your
same
mirror.
the same guy you're looking at when you're brushing your teeth.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, right?
Fucking self.
And the moment you realize that, right? So you younger guys that are getting into the trades,
Actually, please get into the trade.
Right.
We're experiencing a huge shortage. We need people in the trades.
don't think you have all this time in the world because you don't.
Nah,
Time fucking flies. So take advantage
Yeah.
of what you have. So if right now you can put in 14, 15, 16 hours to get to the point where you're like, fuck,
Do it.
the more you work now, the less you're going to work later. I guarantee you. I said, so the moment it clicks in your head and people like us that are telling you things that we've gone through, use them to your advantage.
Yeah.
Don't just be like, fucking guys don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Also, when you get into a trade young, save your fucking money. I won't stress this enough. Put some of that money away.
Yeah.
You don't need to blow your old check on drugs, booze, and women. You
Right.
don't. Because I did it. It was great. But now I'm like, fuck, I could have spent 15 years with money in the bank with more money than I'm saving I had now. You know, it's
And that's one of the things, right? You go to school, they don't teach you a lot of this stuff, right? They don't teach you about credit. They don't teach you. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you're not even lucky enough to learn it from your own family, right?
Yeah.
So if you can get somebody, like I said, hang out with somebody that knows more than you and listen.
it's important.
It's good to idolize that person, for the things that you want to do and learn from them,
Yeah.
right? And the more you learn, the more you Nacho's out.
Oh, he's gone.
He's like, I'm not going to go across. I'm going to go through the back. So the more you listen, the more you absorb. Man, you got years ahead of the next guy,
Yeah.
right? You're competing against yourself, but you also have a pool of people that want the same position you want,
Yeah.
and
Or just working towards the same level. You know what I mean?
you got to stand out, right? You got to stand out. So that whole excuse of, oh no, if you're making excuses, something's wrong with you.
That's fair to say. If it's always somebody else's fault, the problem's probably with you.
Right.
Yep.
And it probably started at home because they gave you everything at home,
Yeah.
right?
That or they didn't give you anything, so you have no idea what to expect when you're on the job.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I feel like it goes both ways. It's a fine line.
Yeah.
Ones that get everything and don't know how to do anything, and then those that were giving nothing and now don't know how to do things.
But if
know?
I can tell you, like, from personal experience, right? If you didn't get anything handed off to you, inherited anything, right?
Yeah.
Right. Who bought your house for you, Alex?
Shoot.
I think his name is A and ends with X.
right? So you sacrificed
Yeah.
a lot of
A lot of
things.
sacrifice.
Your wife sacrificed a lot of things,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
In order for you to purchase that home, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that whole process of you learning everything, what it took to get that home,
Oh, situated. Yeah.
right? It now you value it,
Oh yeah.
right? So, even like at my home, my two boys
Mhm.
didn't give them anything, didn't give them a car.
Hmm.
They had to buy their own cars.
Yep.
They were pissed. They were pissed, but they take care of their cars.
Yeah. Oh, because they bought it. So now they know the value of what they
Exactly. Where the girls kind of got stuff handed to them.
bought. Mm.
Don't
So
take care of their stuff.
The value, yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's
So-
valuable
so-
is now in their mind is a little less.
Exactly. So
I see.
I mean, my first vehicle I bought,
Mhm.
my sister and my brother-in-law sold it to me. It was a truck, S10,
Oh yeah, nice.
and
Wait, was it blue?
red. It was
Oh,
red and
did you
silver.
did you have it like way back
No,
in the day?
that was Grandpa's.
Oh,
Yeah, mine was an '84,
got
a
it.
square and everything.
Yeah, yeah, box.
So yeah. So with the little seats in the back. That
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You pull down.
Yeah.
I wish they still had those, bro. You know, I think they outlawed those seats.
Well, yeah.
They don't have them. Well, dude, yeah, I guess you're right. Motherfuckers are ejecting from those things, bro.
Anyway, man, I would wash the shit out of that fucking truck.
Yeah.
I'd do everything to it, right?
Mhm.
Because my sister said, "Hey, you want to buy the truck?" I got my first job. I had a pretty decent internship
Mm-hmm.
my junior year into my senior year in high school.
Oh, okay.
I got put into a program at school which taught me a lot.
Mhm.
Taught me a lot, and I got an internship at IBM,
Oh, tight.
making $6 an hour. I was like, "Fuck,
That's
yeah."
hilarious, right? I mean, when I started working, minimum wage was $6.75.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I would get paid every week.
Yeah.
Every week. So, but it was my money,
Yeah.
right? So, I think after that summer, I paid off the truck, right?
Oh, nice.
And my brother-in-law goes, when I gave him the last payment, he goes, "I wanted to give you the truck, but your sister said, make them earn
Make
it."
them pay it. Yeah.
And I don't remember being mad. And I was like, "Oh shit, man, I could have," but
That could have been an option. You know what I mean?
right, but it taught me to value,
Yeah.
that
Well, that give you an idea of what you're working for, right? You know, my hours are I'm seeing my goal, right?
Right.
These are my hours I'm putting in
Right.
for this, to do this, to feel this way.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was reading I'm assuming it's a fact. Somebody put some thought into it that 30% of a male's income goes into buying their dream car
Wow.
in their lifetime.
Okay. I can tell you right now, I'm like half and half on that. Because when I was a kid, car I wanted most, which is funny, was two cars. I wanted it was between a Dodge Viper and a Toyota Supra. Right? And I was like, both cars in my lifetime now have become achievable, right?
Right.
You get a Dodge Viper for fucking $40,000. You know?
But back then it wasn't.
No, because back
was-
then minimum wage was $6.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, fuck, how long would I have to work for $6 minimum wage? Crazy amount. But obviously, I was fortunate enough to work a job, save money, buy a Supra, and now it's parked in the garage for 3 years.
Is it apart or
No, it's perfectly running. I just can't keep it at because I live in an apartment and I live close to Oakland, close enough to where they steal shit. So they've tried to steal my Supra multiple times.
Okay.
Damn.
And now I just can't have it. Can't have it with me.
Yeah.
Shout out my good friends. They are keeping it in their garage. Thank you. I love you. When my goddaughter goes to college, maybe we'll sell it and get some money for her.
That's it.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. So now I own a collector's item. So it's kind of like the
Yeah.
way I view the car is like the way probably people view like fine art. You know what I mean? Yes, you can drive it. Yes, you can move it around, show it off. But mainly it's just something to say I own now.
Right.
It works, runs, it's fast. It can be a lot faster, but it's just a collector's item now.
Right.
So the appreciation of the car is only going up.
I guess.
Yeah, if we stop having gas vehicles.
Dude, look out. I can get a $100K if they stop selling gas vehicles for that thing, man.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I truly believe you learn to value things when
You buy it.
when you put blood and sweat into the
Mm-hmm.
that goal.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No doubt.
cool. We're in
doubt.
about a hour and 20,
Yeah.
25. What do you guys think?
Should we hit
We said we were going to go 45, but
well, technically we said an hour.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just running, we ran
Yeah,
about
so-
25 minutes over. I feel is acceptable.
so we should take a little break.
Yeah.
Take
Let's
a
take
little
a break.
break and take a little leak or something.
Yeah.
Refill our drinks.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
We're going on break.
that's it.
Piss break. We're back.
We're
Back
back.
from our little piss break. Drink refresher.
Yeah.
Where were we?
We were just going about
I think
We're giving advice to the youngers,
Oh yeah.
youngsters.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
No doubt.
Yeah. Make sure you guys give your 100% when you guys go to work.
Yeah, you're there for 8 hours. Sometimes you're there for longer. I can understand. If you give yourself, if you're at work, solid 8 hours, you're working 10s and maybe the next 2 hours you're working at half mass.
Yeah.
It's fine. You know what I mean? You gave us solid 8 hours. You deserve to work half for the last 2.
You know,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Half. No.
Yeah, half.
I work all the way till my time is done.
So do I. But now I'm not giving 110%.
I am.
At 8 hours, I'm like, boom. If I put it this way, usually I'm doing a project. So the project doesn't, I'm claiming 10, but me personally, I'm definitely putting enough hours in for a 12-hour day.
right.
Oh,
I'm,
well,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm, I'm accomplishing
trust
a
me.
lot of stuff.
right.
When I do
you know.
my 8, I'm putting I'm working like I'm doing
Oh, 12.
16.
Yeah, you're getting it on. Yeah.
So like today, it was 30 minutes till break or till the end of the day,
Mhm.
or 8 hours. And my helper, he's already starting to closing game boxes,
Oh, yeah.
closing doors.
You're all, what's going
I was
on?
like,
He says
I
it's
can-
Friday, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah.
But I'm like, we got 30 minutes. I can grab these because, we just ran all the wires
Uh-huh.
to the machine room, up to the machine, and to the J box where everything, gets spliced into.
Mm-hmm.
And the motor doesn't have no wires. We took off all the wires just to get the motor in. So
Got it. So
there's
it
a big
fits.
old bundle of wires in our laydown,
Yes.
and there's 30 minutes left. And my helper's already, closing game.
See you later.
Yeah, I was like,
You're all, bro.
good.
We can pick this up. We can move this. We can
So
get
I
this going."
grabbed the wires. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go upstairs and get this ready for Monday.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Grab that. And I go up there, and I still had 15 minutes. I was like, all right. I start taking some things off the
Girl,
motor
we can just,
just
fuck
to start
around.
plugging in. You know?
Yeah.
What you don't know is your helper wanted you to be there on Tuesday, so when Vince goes on Tuesday, you guys can go have lunch. He was saving some work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, we can go into another segment.
No,
about
I
Honestly,
helpers and
what-
other-
And
What you
saving
guys are
or what
saying-
they did or saving work, extending a job.
I mean, since COVID to here, the expectations are fucking.
yes,
down
they're
here, right?
super low.
They're super
I
low.
wish I was for my company, man. These motherfuckers are they went to an acquisition. These motherfuckers are like on everybody's fucking noggins.
Right. But even then, right? These guys will still let go, right? Because
Oh yeah.
they slack off, right?
Yeah.
You guys seen my guy that was here, right? That came
Yeah.
in earlier and said he came to kind of. I gave him a check, but he came and he started doing some work. Was here
He
for-
came to get paid.
He was here for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But he's not on the clock anymore.
Mm.
So you can't find that anymore, right? So
Yeah.
when he came in and interviewed, he was in front of the 3
Oh, yeah.
partners,
Got your little panel.
and we were asking questions, and the guy came. He was dressed well, presentable.
Yeah.
And one of the questions that probably everybody hears at an interview: where do you see yourself in X amount of years, right?
That's a funny question because I internally I'm like, not here, but
Very true.
you know,
Right.
but I say, as I wait before I answer. I want to hear what he answered, and then I want to hear what you guys' answers would be, and then I'll tell you my answer.
So, and because again, right, it's a question I've always heard, and honestly, and I look at the person asking it, and they only ask it just to ask it, like it was on their sheet to ask, but they're not listening to it.
Yeah.
So I can tell you before I move to the answer, right, because that was one of the reasons why I said,
he stood out.
I want him here, right?
Yeah.
But the last time one of my employers asked me that question, I don't bullshit you. I like you said, I gave 110%. I go in, I told him, I said, I want to be in your shoes. I want to be doing your job. And she got offended. Right. So to me, when you want somebody, you want somebody good, right?
Yeah.
So you want to take that load off of your boss, right?
Sure.
Right. His response was, hopefully I'm doing your guys' job, he said.
So it was very similar to the answer you gave before.
I didn't get pissed off.
Yeah.
I was like, good, because I don't want to be fucking working like this anymore.
So I like
the
this.
owner.
I like this. Yeah.
So I need somebody like him that's going to be dedicated like me, right? So my partner says, Sergio, you're looking for somebody that doesn't exist.
There he is.
I said, I was that person, right? Where, hey, where'd this guy come from? Where's he been? It comes from within, from you. How bad you want it or how well you want to succeed, right?
Yeah.
And so when he said that, I stopped and I said, look, some people, they ask this question and they don't want to hear that answer. I wanted to hear that answer. I said, I'm glad you said that, right? Because you can tell if he's bullshitting or not.
Yeah.
But he said, he's like, hopefully I'm doing your guys' job
Yeah.
in that time. So, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I gave almost the similar answer, but I said it. I want to be running work. I want to have my. I want to be calling the shots.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. I didn't want his. At the time, my manager when he was interviewing me, I didn't want to be behind a desk.
Yeah.
I want to be running work. I don't want to be the guy, calling the shots.
Yeah.
Or, at the time, I didn't know that there was, other positions, before I got behind that desk. I'd rather be an adjuster
Oh yeah.
for elevators.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be.
I like that too.
Yeah. Or running my own company.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That
day.
money.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I gave that same question or answer. In my trade for the union, when you apply to join the union, you get interviewed by, I would say, 5 guys.
Oh yeah.
First you got to pass the test. Then you got to go in front of this panel of 5 guys, and they're all asking you a bunch of questions. And I gave them that same answer to the union. I want to be running work.
Yeah.
Because I came from a different trade.
Yeah.
But I wasn't running work, but I was still.
You're on that process.
I was in that. I was doing layouts and on my other trade. But then I saw the elevator guys coming in and having a good jolly old time.
Oh yeah.
I was like, let me go try that.
I need to get in there.
But my foreman at the time was his buddy was looking for a helper.
Oh.
So he actually he gave me the schedule for when to go apply for the union because they only do it twice a year.
Back then, now it's open enrollment.
No. It's still twice a year.
Oh, it's still twice a year?
It's every 2 years, I think.
Oh, because I thought you guys opened up like the other unions, like the electrical union. They'll hold the class every like 3 months or hiring every 3 months.
No, that's not how our union works. It might be how the electricians work.
Yeah,
but the elevator unions they don't. They do it every 2 years. So when they do that, they have a list. They have a big list
of people they can call.
Yeah.
Like every 2 years, they're like, oh, we already got people that are, top guys ready to get in.
No. So they just roll into the next year if they still want to pursue that career.
Got it.
But they go through the same process. But now it's all computer, so that window closes up within a minute.
Probably
When
seconds.
I got in,
Yeah.
you know, we had to go take a test, or we had to fill out paperwork and go wait in this long ass line at a hotel and go through the interviewing and a big, you know, big old test that we had to take.
Yeah.
But,
You were willing to stand in that line and
yes,
sacrifice.
So
right?
yeah,
So that's what I tell my partner when we're looking for somebody. One of the several goals that I have, right? When we're actively actually looking for 3 people right now, right? And we're being picky because
You can be. It's your
right?
job. You
And
know?
so what I told my partner couple conversations back, I said, you know what I want this place to be, or this company to be, whether it be with employees or clients, where you can reject somebody, right? You have that restaurant that has that Michelin star. That
Oh yeah.
not anybody can dine here, right? Or not anybody can come into this club. You got to wait out there. There might not be people inside, but if you're willing to wait for this service, that's the company I want to be.
Yeah. Be
Right?
worth it.
It's a high standard, right? So same thing with an employee, right? Where, like Alex just said, right? He had to stand in line, and it was a rigorous process to get in, right? That's what I want here, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just going to hire you just because you know how to plumb.
Just some Joe off the street
Right.
looking for a job.
So I take it because I mean I worked in the tech field for a long time in the tech industry, right? And that's how it was, right? You get rewarded for that company with that company. I mean, Google employees, what do they get when they get hired, right?
Bro, my boy works for G Fiber. So for those that don't know, it's Google Fiber.
Right.
Money.
What-
He pretty much the first year he went to fucking Colorado, bought himself a farm.
damn.
So
Slinging fiber,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
let's open a fiber company.
right?
Dude,
Hey, fiber is easy.
it's pretty simple. Yeah. The tools, what costs a lot are the tools.
Yes,
But the process,
I put some fiber
easy.
connections together.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you
so-
could have asked him for that fucking light meter. Test the fucking line.
So
Yeah, and then when I got through that interviewing with the union, I went through that process, and then they put you on a list. And then when I finally got hired, it was I think a year and a half later. So a year and a half later, I got a call when I was in my last class for the last trade that I was in.
You were journeying
I
out
was
at that
getting
last
ready
one?
to journey out on
Yeah.
that class, but
They wanted you to work that week.
they said either you come to the hall and do your orientation,
Yes.
because there's a company that wants to
Yeah.
bring
Pick you up. Yeah.
pick me up, and I was in my last class to become a journeyman, and I was looking at my teacher before the week started, because it's only a week
Yeah.
for that class, and I was like, hey, I might be getting a call this week, so if I step out, it's because I'm gonna
Yeah. Because I need to get out. I need to answer this call.
yeah, I have to answer this call. And then I got the call. I looked at my teacher. He's like, I'd rather you stay and finish this class so you can say that you're a journeyman in this trade.
Yeah, but you couldn't, wait a minute. Before we go, when I was an iron worker, if say they kicked you out for whatever reason, being late, being tired, whatever, you'd make you go in front of the panel. They call it bad boy time. You spend bad boy time. And then they reschedule your class to the next available class. So 3 months later or whatever it is, you're back in the class.
That's not how that trade works.
So if you missed a class, that was it.
Right. But
That makes no sense.
so what I did, my teacher said, you're going to miss an opportunity going into the elevator trade. Everybody wants to get into that trade.
Go.
So I went.
Yeah.
I froze all that, that trade.
Yep.
Just in case they didn't work out over here, I could still fall back in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then 9 years later, I'm here.
shit,
And
You
then-
never had to open that back up.
Right. And then I told the people that I was working with after I got comfortable and they started seeing my worth ethic,
Yeah.
what number I ended up on that list, because it took a year and a half for me to get hired as to get
Yeah.
the company. I told them I was on the list. I was 246.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they actually give you your number.
Yeah, you get the number, and then I got the number. I was like 246. I was like, well, I'm never getting hired.
Bro, I feel like that's actually pretty good.
No, it's not.
That's like being at the DMV. Fuck.
Oh, so you're saying that
So
the
they
people
rank
are-
you. So the elevator trade, they rank you from 1 to whatever.
and how you know we can do a whole podcast
Are you
on that.
Brock?
because
Are you
we-
Brock Purdy?
We have to fucking bro.
Well, so
Are you Mr.
I told-
Wait, before we get any further with this, we should pause this because I'm telling you, we can do probably a whole
Right.
fucking hour
Right.
on this subject right
Correct.
here because I have a
Correct.
lot of questions.
Yeah, let's pick this up again.
Yeah.
in
Well, and
the next podcast.
Yeah, next podcast
Yeah, yeah.
we'll start off because
Okay.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I was number 246.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna start with.
All right.
246.
But that's not a good ranking. Apparently, I guess my test scores weren't that, or my test scores were good, but my interviewing was pretty low.
Oh,
So that's what dropped me down.
You should tell motherfucker, I don't need to talk to anybody in the fucking while I'm inside the elevator.
Yeah. But
Anyway, Vince, did you go through your stuff?
oh.
Let's go through your stuff and let's wrap this guy up. And,
Real quick, the conversation when it's when I was asked, I didn't. It's for some reason I think I've only was asked that question twice. The question was, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And my answer varied the first time because it was like my first job. I was like, working, and then as I got,
inside China.
yeah, fuck. As I got more job experience, and then moved companies, just moved jobs. Became older, and they got to ask the same question again. My answer was more successful than I am now.
Right.
Because I'm already successful. I'm joining your company because, well, you want me to join your company because I'm successful. I already have all the qualifications you're looking for. But as I'm here, I'm not taking a back seat. I want to continue forward. I want to be more successful. So it's kind of a twofold thing. Obviously, that answer, now if I think about it and sitting at a panel and hearing people's stories, that one means you're probably not going to stay there, 10, 15 years. You're going to learn what you can. You're going to grow where you can. And if you can't continue to grow, you're going to leave that company. You know what I mean?
And you should.
Yeah.
You should. I mean, those of you guys out there, you should. Vince told us a couple podcasts back about his, is it your grandpa or your
Which one?
father-in-law?
Oh, as the
He
what do you
was
call
like
it?
a head architect or something
No.
like that?
He was head engineer, building engineer.
For like 30 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm valuable to this company.
Mm-hmm.
The company that came in said, no, you're not.
Yeah, exactly. Cut him
Right?
down.
So those of you guys out there, you think, you're valuable to a company? You're a number.
yeah.
So
you can get
Tell
got
everybody.
any fucking time,
That's what I
at
do.
any moment.
I'm not saying don't put in work because you have to put in the work. They're paying you to do a job.
Mhm.
But, focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Get better at your craft. Do what you have to do to get better because you shouldn't be at a company that long.
You can't be stagnant.
It's stagnant because you stop learning.
Exactly. I was
Stop
gonna say,
learning.
unless you're, the company's giving you and feeding you more information,
If you're growing up,
training you,
If you're growing
know.
up, yeah. I mean, but there's
or you're in a union, at that point, you kind of
No, don't.
you're doing it.
it all depends. It all depends. So
Yeah. Just because you're in doesn't mean you're
Well,
supposed to be there.
that is, we can make a whole fucking podcast about that right there. Just because a motherfucker's next to you doesn't mean he's fucking good.
all right.
Anyways,
Well,
so
I like
so
it.
yeah, I
Good
mean,
one.
good show again.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
I mean, we got tons of stories
oh yeah.
Yeah.
we can share. I mean, this
There's
is
a
why
billion stories.
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
why we're going there. I mean, Vince, like I said, Vince can do fucking a podcast a day just on his
himself.
daily
My daily adventures. Fucking
So,
Christ.
so yeah, I mean, we're here to share them with you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, make you guys laugh, or get some information. More importantly, of
What's out there?
how to get ahead. Right, take advantage.
Yeah. So good.
We're going to continue to do these. I mean, we had an idea when we sat down and talked about it. Now we're 8, 10 in already,
Yeah.
9, 11,
7.
whatever. Right?
Fruit.
Whatever it is.
The
I
tree
mean,
is growing.
yeah, it's growing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we just get better.
Knock it out.
Yeah, keep on shooting the shit.
Thanks
Yeah.
for shooting the shit.
All right,
doubt.
guys. Well,
See you
thanks
on
for
the next
listening.
one.
Yeah.
For
hell yeah.
watching. Guys,
Doing it.
great talk.
Roll the outro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outro.
Let's go.